What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Awesemo team, and we are talking some college basketball DFS ahead of the conference tournaments, ahead of March Madness, getting you guys ramped up for these contests that will be very large and upcoming. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. And we are brought to you today by Monkey Knife Fight. And they have quite the offer for you guys. If you're new to the platform, what you're going to do is sign up and you are going to get up to $100 in a deposit match bonus and 2 free months of Awesemo Plus when you use the promo code PLUS. Again, that is for first time deposits with the promo code PLUS. So make sure to check out Monkey Knife Fight. Bringing you behind the glass. Here we have some of our tools on the back end at Awesemo. Now, this is going to be a 3-game slate today. It is a little bit of a greasy 3-game slate. It is the debut round of the ACC tournament. These are all the worst teams in the conference. So there is a lot of volatility here. So first thing I want to highlight is the minutes are not going to be consistent for a lot of these teams. But as we dig into it, the first game on the board is Georgia Tech taking on Louisville. It's a 1.5-point spread in favor of Louisville. The total is 135. Again, this is already really volatile considering Louisville has won 2 games since the new year started. They're a team in absolute freefall, and they've lost by double digits in each of the last 3 games. I actually kind of like Georgia Tech against the spread here, but I think they might get additional points. Georgia Tech is also the better team in terms of minute consistency. Michael DeVoe is going to play almost every single minute for this team, 32 minutes in their last game, but he had 4 fouls. You can expect him around 35 if he's out of foul trouble. He leads the team with a 19% usage rate, active everywhere, above 19% in each of the 3 main statistical categories, shots, rebounds, and assists in the last 3 games. He's the usage leader on this team. We also have Jordan Usher taking on a pretty large role. He's a little more consistent in terms of his rebound rate historically over DeVoe, and he's above 20% in each of the last 3 games. So Usher is someone you could target as well. I'd rather play DeVoe for 200 cheaper. You actually have some decent value plays on this team too. Rodney Howard, he's their big man prone to foul issues. He either plays 35 minutes or he fouls out. So he's somebody that has a pretty low shot rate, but he's going to get a lot of rebounds. So the double-double equity is there. He's 5,500. But I think I might rather just go down and play someone like Kyle Sturdivant at 4,900. He's also going to play almost every single minute. Not quite as used and doesn't have as high of a rebounding rate. It's at 7% on the year, 9.5% in the last 3. But he's a little bit cheaper at 4,900, so he kind of fits that value play mold. Their 5th player is a complete disaster. They've used a lot of Khalid Moore this year, but he's recently kind of been phased out. Dallin Coleman's played a bit here, but Miles Kelly's the guy they played 34 minutes in their last game. I think he kind of has the hot hand, if you will, right now, so he's somebody you could maybe look at as a really cheap option, but very volatile. On the other side, Louisville is an epic disaster. They're playing with an interim coach. He's lost the locker room, can't decide his rotations. One time, a guy's going to play 3 minutes. The next game, he's going to play 34 and vice versa. And we've seen that, exactly that with Malik Williams. 3 minutes inactive to 34 minutes on senior night. All I can really say about this Louisville team is the most consistent minutes lately have been going to Sidney Curry, Jared West, and Noah Locke. None of them are locks to play in this game, more than 20 minutes. In the projections, you're going to find almost every player between 15 and 25 minutes and know that their coach has no handle on this rotation whatsoever. Malik Williams objectively is their best player, but he's in the doghouse, and there are games where he just outright doesn't see the floor. Louisville is an excellent GPP team for that reason. I would lean on the projections. Just know that they are the most volatile team, perhaps, in all of college basketball right now. They're an epic disaster. Game 2 is NC State taking on Clemson. This is a much better game overall for DFS. 5.5-point spread in favor of Clemson, 143 total. So automatically a game we want to target a little bit more than the previous. In NC State, they basically use 3 guys that soak up all their usage. And that's something we can certainly target. Trekwavian Smith is the most expensive player on the slate on DraftKings. And he's somebody who's kind of taken over the alpha scoring role from Darian Sebron, who held this role to begin the year. But Trekwavian Smith plays every single minute, north of 38 in each of the last 3. He has a 33.5% shot rate, 14.5% rebound rate, and 24% assist rate in that span. That was kind of what Darian Sebron was doing earlier in the year, and now they've flipped roles a little bit. Sebron, he's seen a sharp decrease in usage, but he's still playing almost every minute, 36 and 38 in the last 2 games. I think this could flip-flop back and forth at any point. So Seaburn could be a little bit of a buy low, but Trekwavian's been the guy they've been using lately. Jericole Helms also plays every single minute. He has a 20% shot rate, 21% rebound rate last three. Those are all positive for Helms. He's the cheapest of these three studs, so I think he's someone that will be popular. And from there, they kind of rotate their ancillary players a lot. Casey Morsell has been the guy they've used a bunch lately. He's kind of a win sprinter, college usage guy with 27 and 30 minutes in back-to-back games. And then somebody who may be emerging is Jalen Gibson. 28 minutes in their last game, 23 minutes in the game prior. Ebenezer Duwona has been an absolute disaster on the floor. When he's not fouling out, he's win sprinting right alongside Morsell, contributing very little. But Gibson's actually played well, and he's been a phenomenal rebounder in his time on the floor. Again, he hasn't played more than 28 minutes in each of the last three games, but he has an 18.5% rebound rate. So Gibson is somebody I think that is emerging. For GPPs, he could be a worthwhile look. On Clemson, this team is surging a little bit of late. They're getting back some of their better players. PJ Hall is their alpha scorer, their usage leader, 20% usage on the year. He played 14 minutes in his return from injury, and that should only tick higher. This Clemson team, they're not going to make the tournament unless they win the ACC. But, I mean, if they have any aspirations at all, Hall needs to play and needs to play well. He's their alpha scorer, but probably not worthwhile coming off the injury. Behind him, Alamir Dawes, David Collins, those are the other two players that have pretty decent usage. I think between the two, it's Dawes for me because of the higher shot rate. But David Collins is going to be more of a peripheral player. He's got a higher rebounding rate and assist rate. In the front court, this is a bit of a disaster as well. Hunter Tyson, he's been out for multiple games. He's now since returned, played 18 and 25 minutes. And that's all fine and well. Hunter Tyson's probably the guy you want to target for tournaments between all their front court pieces. But when he was out, we actually had some minute consistency, which we haven't had in either of the last two games. Chase Hunter's minutes have dropped. He's more of a backcourt player, but Nick Honor's been volatile in minutes. Naz Bohannon has seen his minutes drop. Ian Scheifele, his minutes are now dropping again. Ben Middlebrooks, all these guys were playing 20 minutes plus, and now they're dropping just with Tyson taking a lot of them. So it's probably Tyson or it's probably a move on for me. But overall with this Clemson team, I want to get to PJ Hall and Tyson. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to play someone like Alamir Dawes, but kind of a tough spot for Clemson to get to because of the injuries. Final game, we have Boston College taking on Pitt. I know I did these out of order, just the way that they worked out in my spreadsheet, but Boston College, the 2-point favorite over Pitt. The total is 129, so this is the lowest total on the board. Luckily, these teams have some of the tightest rotations in college basketball, so I do think you can get here, and I still am preferring to play Boston College and Pitt pieces over Louisville, certainly. On this Boston College team, you have Mekhi Ashton Langford basically leading the way in terms of usage across the board. 23% shot rate, 17.5% rebound rate, 16.5% assist rate last three. I think he's a fine target. DeMar Langford's right behind him in terms of usage. He's somebody I'm also very comfortable getting to. They're both going to play every single minute. Jaden Zachary's a little bit less used than these two players, but he's on the floor a lot, 43, 29, and 36 minutes. Same with James Karnick. James Karnick plays in their front court, so he's one of the few pieces with size, but he's one of these big men with immense foul issues. He either plays 33 minutes, 34 minutes, or he fouls out of games, and we've seen him in foul trouble in two of their last three. So just know with Karnick, you're not getting the same consistency that you are with Zachary, Ashton Langford, or DeMar Langford. We also saw the return of TJ Bickerstaff, who's been out for multiple games, played 4 minutes. I highly doubt we see him in anything close to his previous role. So expecting him to split a little bit with Quentin Post. Brevin Galloway is the other player mentioned in this spot. He's actually been pretty used lately, and he is a tier below Langford, Ashton Langford, and Zachary in terms of pricing. So if you can get a little bit of a discount with Brevin Galloway, I think you can play him. On the Pitt side, they are taking a little bit of a look at some of their younger players. It's also hard to really decide here because they got blown out in each of their last three games. 20-point losses or worse in each of the last three. Prior to that, you had seen a tight rotation between John Hughley, Mohamedou Gay, Jamarius Burton, Femi Adukley, and Ethiel Horton. Horton was suspended for half the year, and he's extremely used when he's on the floor. He's just been wildly inefficient. He's still the cheapest of these starters, so I think Horton is the guy I'm trying to play if I can. He has an 18% shot rate last three, and he's involved everywhere. Just inefficient. Hughley has massive upside. We've seen him with a couple double-doubles and 50-point outings this year, Boston College certainly isn't strong enough to defend him. He's another player that has foul issues at times. Only played 14 minutes in their last game despite 2 fouls. So again, they're taking a look at some younger players. I think in the tournament, Hughley's probably a better bet to go back to 30 minutes than to remain at 14, but you never know with Pitt. Mohamedou Gay, he's somebody that also is going to be extremely involved in the front court. If Hughley were to foul out or get in foul trouble, Gay would be the immediate beneficiary, but he also comes with some of those foul risks themselves. Jamarius Burton and Adukale, they're kind of these wind sprinter type players with Horton back. Horton just takes so much of the usage. If I'm playing one of the two, it's probably Adukale, but I would rather just pay down for Horton in that instance. But again, greasy slate. We have 3 staggered start times, so late swap is going to be key for you guys. Make sure to watch the players that are in and out of your lineups, especially with Louisville on the slate. We'll be back throughout the rest of the week and through March Madness breaking down these lineups for DFS. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section who your favorite plays are. I'm Matt Gajewski on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski, and we will see you again next time.